right, so right now we're to the stage where we have to seam another liner. Well, it is the day before Thanksgiving and I am going to start working on this. Not start working, I'm actually going to try and finish this waterfall today. We've just been so busy with all the closings and everything. You know, the guys just have had time to be here. I've had some things to do also, but today I got to get at this thing because this morning, again, it was in the 30s and it's supposed to warm up to 40 today, so hopefully the foam will all stick and we better get started. Got to get these frost blankets off and get rolling because I'm excited to finish this waterfall with the urns. Been a long time waiting. It's been sitting dormant for a while, so let's get at it. So I mentioned frost blankets. For those of you that don't know what frost blankets are, they actually a lot of times are used in the concrete industry so the concrete will cure, especially this time of year when it's very cold, and it kind of insulates the ground. So what that doesn't allow is for the frost to actually get into the working area. You could lay these out on the ground and make sure that it's just covered and overlapped really well on a really big section even, and you'd be able to keep the frost from going on there for a very long time. And it just allows us to work longer in the season. Been using these for 30 years and it's always worked great because unfortunately we always have projects going when it's still cold out. So this particular rock, I want this right here to be facing out. So what I'm gonna do is put this loop right up on top here, so when I pick it, it actually picks it up level into the way that I want to set it. Now if I put the knot way down here, it's not going to pick the way I want it and the way I want to set it. So part of rock strapping is knowing how you want to set that rock, so it's just really easy to get into that spot and to get it back off after you're done. Okay, so today I'm going to be using rock pad to help seal up that gravel as well as pond foam. But the reason I'm using the rock pad is not only do I have a piece of this left over, but look how thick it is. And one of the things that's going to happen over time, it's actually going to silt up, which is going to help seal it. But we're not relying on the silt, obviously, because the water would go right through it. And we really want to seal that up so it flows over, not under our rocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to droop this piece of rock pad in there so I can kind of get a rough idea on how I got to cut it. Then I'm going to take a pair of shears and I'm going to trim it all around the best I can before I start sealing. Okay, now that I got that all trimmed out, I got this one side super tight. The other side I'm gonna let trail up those rocks a little bit. Once I get the foam in there, I'll push the fabric down into the foam, and then afterwards I can go ahead and trim it. Now I know there's little voids like right there, but that is above water level. So what we'll have to do is after I foam it, we'll get some gravel in those little pockets, and then we can go ahead and foam and moss it back up just to make sure. That's why I got the laser up here with me, so that way we can check everything to make sure we're at the right height. So one of the things we have found over time working in the cold, that actually the DIY cans from Aquascape for some reason kind of take the weather better. They'll set up and start to cure quicker. So that's what I'm going to use on this. Normally we use the professional applicator. I mean, I'll do that for the smaller spots on this, but I got a huge area to do, so I'm just going to blow these cans right out and let them go ahead and do their thing. The other thing I'm going to do is just pull back that fabric halfway so I can get all this section done and then get that fabric on there. If I was to try to seal this whole thing and then come back, the fabric would never stick and be able to push it down in there. So the DIY cans are just like any other kind of great stuff or whatever. The only thing is that this is meant for water, and normally it comes with the straw. I'm just going to put this applicator on here because I just want to blow these cans right out quick. I want it to just hammer down in here, get as much done and as fast as I can. That's why I like these cans as opposed to that applicator gun in the colder temperatures. Otherwise I'd definitely be using the professional one. So this is exactly what I mean. Look how quick that is. Yeah, I know we're gonna use some cans up, but at this time of the year, I gotta do what I gotta do to finish this thing up. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. Number 3, this is can number 3. You better not tell the office how much foam we've used. Yeah, it's only money, right? So I've used almost 3 cans on this one spot right here. Let's check it out. Well, I want to make sure that we get this good and covered, right? We only got one chance at this. Temperatures are getting cold. We don't want to mess around with back and forth. And this is why I only am doing a little at a time. You see how it's curing at different rates and stuff like that. So let's just get at it. I'm going to get this fabric down, and then I'm going to go pull up the other side and do that side also. So this is what I was talking about. So what I did is I folded this fabric back right over into here. So now I can get another bead right under there and then work my way. And then once I get a bead up against this side where I fold it back, now I'm gonna be able to work back and forth in this pattern and be able to seal this whole thing up and just keep putting the fabric down as I go, just so I don't trap myself, because I won't be able to get back in there without messing with that foam. We really want it to cure up before we even get on it. Well, and there you have it. All this section down through here is all sealed all the way around this urn. I got everything flapped up so I can button up those edges, like all these little voids. I'm gonna shoot it with the laser. I got a couple of smaller rocks, or one rock I want to put in here just to kind of bring the height of those other ones down. And then I have to put our 3-inch feet up here also. So I just want to get this done because I'm not sure if it's going to get any warmer today, but now this whole upper waterfall area is actually sealed. And there's the carnage. I hope Jody doesn't walk by and see this. I'm sure she's going to dock my pay. Joe, what do you think about this Pondless Waterfall we've been building?
It's coming along great. Holy foam! Did you take that out of inventory? That's coming out of your pay.
She thinks it matters. I haven't seen a paycheck in 30 years. Okay, so we're feeding this whole upper waterfall with 1 9PL. And what I want to do is use a 3-inch pipe with no restrictions. So basically I'm going to bulk fit the liner and let it just kind of rip through here. I don't want to use a spillway because I don't want to have like this point of origin on this upper part. I want it to more pool up and then go over this waterfall and then a waterfall on the other side of the urn. So what I start with is I actually take this 3-inch bulk fitting, because I'm going to be using 3-inch pipe with no restriction. So I traced out the hole right there for the 3-inch bulk fitting. Right there is where my hole is already. Right down in here, it's a little wrinkled so it looks oblong, but it's not. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a piece of seam tape to reinforce the liner on both sides. So if you're in a pinch and you don't have any rags around and you're on a job and you don't want to run out and get them, you know, just find a nice clean piece of underlayment. This is actually the primer that we're going to use, and it's a seam tape primer right from Firestone. It's Firestone liner and Firestone seam tape. So what I want to do is, I've already dusted this off. I just want to take and be very liberal with the amount of primer that I'm going to use for that patch area. I'm calling it a patch, but really I'm using this as reinforcement because I made the hole. The hole happened by accident. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let that tack up for a minute. I've already pre-cut a piece of seam tape that I know that this 3-inch bulk fitting will fit on. And because I already have my hole, I know where that's supposed to be. So what we're gonna do is start putting that on right here down below. So I'm gonna get that a little situated there. I don't want any wrinkles in there. So, oh, I almost caused one. You know, if you got a piece of board or something around, you can always use that. Just makes life easy. Now keep in mind too, I know I'm doing this and I'm bulk fitting it, but I am above water level a little bit, so then that way I don't have to worry about it. And basically what I did is I set the laser for my wear stone where the waterfall is going to come over, and then I raised it 3 inches to 4 inches just to make sure I got a little buffer, and then that's where I made my hole. So now that I have this piece of seam tape on this side, what I'm going to do is come back over here, and now that I already have that pre-cut hole, I'm going to actually just take my knife, cut that out, clean up the back side, and then put another piece of seam tape on there before I do the bulk fitting. And there we have it. We got that hole cut out. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this over and I'm gonna prep the back side so I can put the next piece of seam tape on there. Your hands do get a little sticky. If you're worried about that, you can always use gloves. I'm not a big proponent of gloves. These I have to have on for certain reasons, but otherwise I don't usually like gloves. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this liner back up like that. I'm gonna get my piece of seam tape across the back, like so. See, now I'm pressing that all together just to make sure. Now I got that hole cut in this just a little bit small. It's a little weird shaped. I know you're not gonna get it perfectly round. If you wanna take the time, I suppose you could. Like I said, this is just reinforcement. That liner probably is strong enough, but I don't trust it over time. I really wanna make sure that during our freeze thaw cycle, that this bulk fitting does not ever move. Now, let's take on this side and let's cut this out. And there we have it. So on some of our previous videos, we showed you where the rubber washer should go. On a 3-inch bulk fitting, it doesn't have 2 washers. It has one rubber one which goes on the water side, which is going to be over here, and then the lock nut on this is extra wide to create its own washer. So right now what I'm going to do is going to get that in there. I'm going to push it through, and I'm going to make sure that I stretch that over the threads to get it nice and tight like that. And there you go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bulk fitting, which is a left-hand thread, and I'm going to tighten that down. Now I'm going to have to go grab my water pump pliers out of my toolbox and tighten that up a little further, but that is a bulk fitting through the liner. And now what we do is when we put our pipe through there, we're gonna support it with soil and stuff, and then I can put a little stub on here to flow out, which we'll show you at running at the end of the video, so you kind of get the concept of this bulk fitting. So you might be asking yourself, why would you do a bulk fitting through the liner? You can use it for a lot of reasons. In this area, I really don't want to see where the point of origin of the water is going to be. So this is going to just kind of flush through here. The water is going to flush through that crevice, and it's going to be below water level. You might see a little bit of a current, but it might look like a natural spring by the time we go ahead and plant all behind here. The other times you can use a bulk fitting through the liner is if you're doing a pondless waterfall, you want a clean transition, you don't want the pipe to come up over the liner. So this is a good application for just about anything where you want to hide that pipe. Now on the back side here, I don't want to see that pipe. I didn't want that pipe to come up over the liner and have to deal with hiding that. So I'm going to have a nice clean transition on the bottom of here. Water's going to flush right out through that crevice, go towards the waterfall area and the urn, because I want to fill that whole back area. Now that's quite a big area to fill, and I didn't want to use a spillways because I didn't want to restrict that 9 PL. I know they're rated for that, but from experience, I just wanted to have that full 3-inch rushing right through there with no restrictions at all. Well, we completed this project just in time, and then it ended up snowing. So I thought, all right, let's let it run for a while. Maybe we could get some cool ice sculptures. There's a little bit of cool ice on it, but in the grand scheme of things, we got another 18 inches of snow possible coming tonight, so I'm gonna have to close this down. But if you liked following along on this video, you like this sort of thing, hit the subscribe button, give us a like, leave some comments, and as always, enjoy your families. Whipped cream. Nom, 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 nom. You're always nibbling on something. You gonna fit that whole package in there? Well, you got a big mouth. Doesn't he, Kyle?
Bigger than most.